Hello, welcome to the Back Pocket 2021 Video Game Awards for Excellence in Video Games, as voted on by us, the host of the Back Pocket 2021 Video Game Awards for Excellence in Video Games. I'm Nick.
I'm Steph.
I'm Gus.
I'm Peter.
And we today are talking about games are to be looked at.
It's true.
Best visuals in a video game. Best, is it best visuals? It's, what did I write? Favorite visuals.
Favorite visuals.
Technically how I've put
Yeah.
this.
So I think
We're not talking about fanciest graphics.
No.
We're
that would
talking
be
about...
best visuals. We're saying favorite.
And it's
Well,
not
no,
just
but I'm
graphics.
also it's art and
It's
design.
art, design,
That's why it's
and
visual,
graphics,
not
and what are the other? Color.
Color.
Yep.
Lack of color.
Lack of color, perhaps.
Negative space.
Pizzazz.
Yeah. Just like when you look at it, you're like, ooh, I enjoy looking at that.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
It's
games are to be
literally
looked
not
at.
best graphics. It's favorite visuals.
Yeah.
It's like a good spin. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a big list.
We do.
We need to cut this list down to 5 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh my
Let's,
god.
Let's
Okay.
make some hard cuts
go
to
through it.
start.
Forza Horizon 5, Inscription, Nickelodeon, All-Star Brawl, Returnal, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, TOEM, Unpacking, Loop Hero, Sable, Guardians of the Galaxy, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, Halo Infinite, Deathloop, Genesis Noir, The Artful Escape, Death's Door, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Life is Strange True Colors, and Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye.
Ow!
Baby.
I would say straight off the bat, 2 games that I loved but don't necessarily think belong here would be Life is Strange True Colors and probably Unpacking also, even though it is very charming and has a lovely look to it.
He moved.
We got to get down to 5,
No,
right?
no, sure. I thought, did you have a visceral reaction to this?
No, I had a. I'm going to hold my knee reaction to it.
Okay, cool.
In
Great.
just a general.
Okay,
I'm
get rid of
at
them.
that
Yep,
age.
I'm happy with that.
I'm okay
I
with
think
those.
Life is Strange True Colors looks really nice.
But not a
There
top
you go.
5 nice.
It's not a top
Top
5
5 nice.
I would also say that we could get rid of Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye.
Yep.
Yep.
It is the same as Outer Wilds, and it looks beautiful, but I would be happy to get rid of that. And the other one that immediately stood out to me, Nickelodeon, because it's just capitalizing on the artwork of people over the last couple of decades who've drawn Nickelodeon
Yeah,
characters.
I think that's fair.
That
What
can
about
go.
Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, that was a good-looking game, but it's like, would we say that it is a top 5?
I think it should stay for now. It's very distinct. Like in terms of where you expect a main, like it's a double A,
Third-person
but action third-person game to go. It does do things that are more
I
distinct.
liked that.
than-
I liked the alien environments, but it was like,
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
distinct palette
And
that was
the-
really cool.
And the facial performance was great.
That was top.
Yeah.
Facial
the actual character design.
the
of them all was
outfits, the
cool.
mullet, and the little boat.
Okay,
the-
not,
it
all,
should
not
lose
all
it
the
for the hair.
characters, not all
Yeah,
the characters, but they were all the comic book characters, which I actually found so much more appealing. I would argue Loop Hero can go.
Psychonauts 2, I would yeet also.
I'm enjoying playing Loop Hero, but I hate looking at it.
Yeah, Loop Hero is
Yeah,
a
it's
hard
hard to
game
look
to
at.
look at.
Yeah,
I'm totally
so
fine
I'm
with
happy
that.
for that to
Psychonauts
go.
2 is brutal.
Psychonauts
Really?
2 is rough
Yeah.
No, wait.
for her to ditch.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we leave it on just a little bit longer?
We can leave it on a little bit longer.
I'm trying to be decisive.
I know.
No,
you've
you're doing a
been
good job.
talking about
Doing
the
a
wrong
good
game.
job.
There's
Chicory
no,
and
there's
Returnal.
no
You should've
way
said
any of
Returnal.
those games are going to be in the top 10, the ones that I've seen.
Oh, Psychonauts 2 totally could be in the top 5.
Let's go
Returnal-
Chicory and Toem. Out of those two, whether they both go or one stays, they are kind of both similar, very
Yeah, so
cartoony.
the Chicory, both of them start black and white, and then Chicory has the option to add color.
Yep.
I think it's probably more cool as a mechanic as opposed to a great visual to look at.
I would lose Chicory over Toem in the sense that I love that first person in Toem that takes you
Yeah.
down as a visual style.
It's-
you can
it
go
is
in and look at
distinct,
everything.
yeah,
It's so
yeah,
distinct.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
cool. So I definitely lose Chicory.
Sable?
Sable, I think, is another thing that is a really striking visual and commendable for going for something. But I wouldn't say that it is like, it's not always beautiful, and it is sometimes a bit jarring with the animation frame rate and
Yeah.
stuff as well, which is all part of the visuals and very intentional. I think is really interesting, but I definitely wouldn't
I also
classify it as a
think-
favorite.
I also think looking at it, I just looked up Sable and it came up with an animal.
That's for fact.
Saber.
It's like a stoat.
I think looking at it as well, if you asked me to make a sort of like cartoony desert game, it's kind of what I would go with. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do it that well, but
Yeah.
it's the vibe that I expect.
Totally.
I've seen that art style.
I've got
many
two
times.
more I'd like to throw under the
Do it.
Yep.
bus.
Do it.
Death's Door, I think looks great.
I
I
was gonna
really
say
like
that.
it.
Yep.
But I would say there's almost now a template engine of that sort of isometric perspective with like soft palette colors with like
Slightly cell shady kind
Slightly
Yeah,
cell
a little
shady.
tilt shifty as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything's got like a little kind of pop vibe to
Yep.
it, but it's super cute. But it's very muted.
Plus,
Tunic is another one that
I
is
was
like that.
Yeah,
Just
I was
the-
frustrated by the fact of how desaturated
Yeah,
it is. I
me
just
too.
wanted it to pop a bit
Yep.
more. So yeah, definitely.
So I
fine
ditched
with that.
Death's Door, and my first semi-controversial one would be Bridge of Spirits.
No,
It's
I was gonna suggest
super polished, but I found it super uninspired in its world. I think like
Yeah,
the
it's
eyes
very
and
generic.
of everything were fucking adorable. Her and the little creatures and everything looked so well made. But the fact that every bit of footage of that game I saw was moving through the dullest looking greenery area that didn't
Yep.
really on the
It was
minutiae
a,
of
it was a bit
beautiful.
one note.
Yeah,
Even if the
so
one note
I'd be
was
okay
very
with that
beautiful.
going.
Yeah.
I'll take a break.
I would nix Returnal and Halo Infinite for both being very nice fidelity games, but they're just good-looking video
I'm
games.
so glad
is
you
all
said
they are.
Halo and none of
Me
us.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to be the one to say it.
I'm
And
proud of you.
it's,
I'm proud of you.
it's not top five
Yeah.
visual. I think
It was getting,
I think
it was getting
great.
hairy there, and I was
I'm sadder to see Returnal go than Halo Infinite because Returnal was super ambitious in that, like, how much it was throwing at you at points, like thunderstorms with like all that rain and like
The bullet-
particle
and the
effects
bullet
and
hell
bullets
particle
and everything.
effects.
But it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
arguably at times messy because of that. Like, it was a cool effect, but you would get to
And very
points
dark.
which was- Yeah, like
Very
you're
dark.
allowed to go
Which I
dark
think is
and
fine, but
add
it just,
interesting
like-
parts.
Yeah, all I remember about it is being like the design of that game is that it's dark, but every projectile has light attached to it. So it's like you're
Strong
just getting
contrast and
light
everything.
is flying at you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
which is a
happy to
cool,
see.
unique experience, but not something I was like, I must look at more of this.
Yeah.
Damn it! Why didn't we put freaking Metroid Dread on this? It's an old art style.
Just
but
so we could get rid of it.
just thinking of
Yeah.
it next.
Think of the-
Yeah,
thinking
it
of
would.
next to
It, yeah,
Returnal, I
it
was
wouldn't.
like,
It
was so
wouldn't have
much-
stayed though.
It wouldn't have. But next to Returnal,
Yep.
it was so much more like polished and
Yep.
sci-fi fun.
Yep.
But that's gone.
Yeah.
What was Genesis Noir?
Genesis Noir is, and if you bring up a couple of picks
a
for
black
Steph,
and
but
white
The black and white jazz one, remember?
it's not fully black and white as well. It has,
Yeah,
it
it's
has
like-
a navy palette, really.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
and
It was fucking
really-
awesome.
Do some cool things with like perspective and shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
Hun-
wow.
It was way more a visual experience than it was a video game.
Yep.
In fact, the gameplay was often frustrating and boring
Mm.
in the way of an incredible music video screensaver plus like
I think.
Okay,
I
okay,
think.
so
I think
leave it
there's
for
a bit
now,
of
and let's-
recency bias in that if that game came out 2 weeks ago, it
would
could
be-
win this category.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Forza
yeah.
Horizon 5 can go. It's so polished.
I
but it is
feel so
just-
bad for Forza because they are consistent in how stunning their games look, but we never see anything particularly new from them except we've improved the lighting even more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
Shiny
is a
cars are great.
stunning game,
Yeah.
and but if you go beyond the graphics as well, I do think that setting it in Mexico is a great decision visually. There are so many wonderful biomes within that map that are a joy to go through.
flipped
And
their
it's
tech.
always everything. It's like it's the water that splashes on the screen and the light that goes across
yeah,
the
I
thing.
see.
and the-
See, that's what I think. I mean, I know I feel hesitant to give any racing game best visuals because they're always kind of leading the pack anyway. But I feel like it could be in the top 5. Like it's incredible, particularly because of the world that they've put together and all the weather. It's a pretty marvelous thing.
Yeah, it is. And they flipped their tech from like doing amazing. They used to go, well, they still go
guess
and
it's
film
just like, I
skyboxes and
feel
take
like-
photos. They flipped that around and did the terrain for this one. So they were doing that like the tech of how they made every
Mexican
rock.
rocks.
I know.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
should
But I
look
feel
at
like
the,
then-
the tech breakdown on that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so
I feel like we're going to commend it for fancy graphics, and that would take the spot of something smaller that is doing something cool.
That is-
For me to take
with
the
an art
place of-
style.
a more favored visual as opposed to a very fancy visual.
Yes,
No,
that
for
would
me,
be
it
my
would take the
argument.
place of Ratchet and Clank or something. Because I'm like, when I'm talking polish, that has great art style, but that's my polished game of the year. And I'm like, Forza and that for me sit next to each other. Okay,
So you would not have Ratchet and Clank in the top 5.
if we kept Forza, like that's my polish category.
Yeah, right. You're saying they
Shiny.
They represent
Shiny game.
They represent that.
All the good-looking
AAA,
games are now
all the
represented
AAA,
by
yeah,
Which
yeah.
then brings me to my toss-up between Ratchet and Clank and It Takes Two. as like
I think
It Takes Two
wins
beats Ratchet
easily.
and Clank.
yeah, because it has an art style that not only bounces between so many different creative spaces, but does so in a way that like they have a realistic setting of running around a bedroom, but then you also go to a clock tower town at one point. Like the
And the
creativity on
garden
display
area,
there is
yeah, it was
insane.
And
that was nice.
the weapons and the things that you're using being created
just
from
And
things that they have, and then like
the lighting in that
the
game.
lighting
was
is
got
so
rid of
good in that
Forza.
game.
Forza
Yeah.
left, so that decision was made.
Will made the decision.
It's gone. That's okay.
Will,
Killed it.
he's so quiet.
Defending
Daddy.
Ratchet and Clank. Who's defending
We can
Ratchet
bring
and
it back if we need to. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not coming back.
It's
never coming back.
I don't.
It's very good. No, I just want to talk about each one. Like,
Okay, so here's my argument that I think that in
I'm on to you. I'm on to you,
sometimes
Gus.
it's important to recognize video games
As
who
being ugly.
it's got such a unique
who have
good
who
style.
have a style that is that they are executing on, and also I'll say that 2 out of 4 of you have not seen most of the art
That's
in
true.
this game.
Okay,
and,
okay.
and that it's making new versions of the same thing that you saw in a completely different style.
Which I did not like.
You only didn't like the second one.
No, I didn't like
I
the
would
third
say
one
if you
either.
keep
okay.
Inscription, we lose Psychonauts 2.
So, just on Inscription, I think...
Why do you always make these weird deals with me where it's like, you're allowed to keep one baby, but not the other
Because
one?
this is literally
Sophie's choice.
this is literally a segment in which we have to compromise. And to get that list down to 5, I am telling you that you're going to have to sacrifice
telling
something,
you.
and that thing is going to be Psychonauts 2.
just to circle back
Yep.
on Inscription, I would say that opening, the first third of the game,
Yep.
I fucking loved how it looked. The masks and the way that...
And the map changes.
the map
when-
changes,
yeah.
all that. The second version, I did not like. The third version, I hated. And I'm not saying you
hated the
lose.
third
Yeah,
version?
I really didn't like it. It was a mess narratively and visually the way it was
Oh,
trying to be messy.
okay. You keep your fucking narrative out of it. Like,
No, but that's what it was trying to like.
yeah, okay.
represent.
Okay, fine. Lose Inscription.
I mean, it's sad. That's sad. But
Don't
thank you.
interrupt.
That's
Thank
really
you.
sad.
I'm not going to interrupt.
The only reason I say it is I'm looking at this list and I go, I love It Takes Two. I love Psychonauts. I love Deathloop. I love Genesis Noir. I love The Artful Escape.
Yeah.
I really like TOEM. And I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. So
You skipped over Ratchet and Clank there. Are you saying you want to ditch that?
I think
well,
I do.
yeah, I just feel like it's definitely the shiniest game that I played this year.
Yeah.
But
It's not a favorite.
certainly not
yeah,
a favorite.
it felt like when I was playing it, and I love Ratchet and Clank. Like these are all great games.
Yeah.
I love it. But when I was playing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is Ratchet and Clank. Like this is just like shiny PS5 Ratchet and Clank.
A lot of particles.
Particles.
Lot of particles.
happening. I'm thinking of
But
the
even
worlds
then,
I
like
went
particles were just like it's just bolts and shit flying through the air. It's not like
Yeah.
and I like the world that they've built, but it's like it's very like. I mean, how am I going to talk negatively about the game? It is spectacular to look at.
I know.
Obviously,
This is my thing. I'm not particularly attached to it. I remember when we were all playing it, we're like, wow, this is going to be the best looking game that's out like of 2021. And now here we are being
I
like,
guess
it could go.
if you said to me, you are only allowed to look at 5 video games this year.
Yeah.
I would pick 5 other games to look at other than Ratchet.
gone?
and it's
Okay.
already gone.
It
Will's
just
made.
left.
Will is. He's ruthless.
Good
Oh,
man.
yeah, it's
Good
Forza.
man.
Oh,
Okay,
Forza's
good.
back.
Yeah.
Whoa, what a twist.
Fuck, Forza's good to look at though, isn't it?
so good.
yeah. I would like to look at Forza.
So
I would
we have to
ditch Guardians.
Same.
I would ditch Tom.
Sorry, did somebody suggest that like really early on?
Yeah. But we needed it. We had to. Had to
Yeah,
say,
but
had to say.
this was before like
feels better
Returnal
to
was
get rid
still
of
on
it
this.
now.
Returnal was around.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I knew, and we could have saved a whole
Alright.
conversation about it.
now convince him to delete it.
I would. Yeah.
Well, he sighed.
I would get rid of Guardians, Tom, and Psychonauts and build the list out of the 5. That
Yes,
Oh, but
Peter.
Psychonauts is
Yes,
no,
Peter.
No, I know. It's like I know that, and I've scrubbed so much footage of it. But I know how inventive it is. But I also think that it's definitely not a favorite visual of mine because I think it's pretty ugly
So
and
it's
interesting.
It's
no,
fucking
cute.
ugly,
No,
Nick.
no. It is only ugly in stills. When you are playing it,
I've played
what
it.
about
it's
those,
not-
like,
it is-
what about those
it is-
things-
It's so ugly when you're
it's
playing.
so
It's so fucking ugly. It's
it is
it's
such
it's
a
great, and the original was great for its time, and people love it, and I know that it's done well.
What about
of the
visually-
games that are on that list? It does not deserve to be there.
Oh my god.
I remember watching the footage and seeing something that I called out and was like, "What's up with the like scribble effects
Those
that
are-
happen when you pick up little things.
The
that
weird,
float.
the baggage tags and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
all that stuff
Well,
is
that shit is
burning
so
my eyes a
messy.
little
Ugly.
bit. So I
Ugly.
think it is unanimous.
It is.
Means
Well,
only
three out of
Sorry.
4.
I don't think.
It is just such a great looking game. It is so it's so unique looking. Like it looks.
I agree.
There's no other games that look like that. It's almost claymation.
I know, but if you told me, do I prefer to look at Psychonauts 2 or The Artful Escape?
Literally anything else.
Of course, I prefer to look at The Artful Escape.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
designed by a
unique.
designer as opposed to
yeah, but
someone...
I'm not saying to
A madman.
lose artful. Okay.
Psychonauts 2 is gone. And
Well, okay.
Oh,
I
yes.
would get rid of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
Yes, I
let's
think
get
we
rid
can all
of.
agree.
We agree on Guardians.
Yep.
Looks great.
Yep.
Love the design.
it's almost.
Steph's
Good
like,
enough. Yep.
can't nod any...
Oh my god.
Sorry, William.
It's almost the scope of Guardians means that it can't be sort of picked out for anything particularly memorable because it was all so nice. But
Yeah.
it was like, apart from crossing that bridge under that moment where the camera pulls back and you just see the design of that world and the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
It was
like,
all brilliant.
No,
Like,
it all looks great.
Lots
That's
of-
why I made.
Guardians,
why it's this far
Guardians
out.
has had a lot of love in the back pocket
That's true.
Games
Yeah.
for Excellence awards that voted by Back Pocket. I feel
Sponsored
like
by
today
Guardians.
it doesn't need to be there.
4, 5,
Games
6.
for excellence.
Oh,
Tom.
Tom
and Tom
just
just-
disappeared.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened to
yeah.
Tom?
Yes,
What happened to
Will.
Tom?
Tom
Yes,
just...
I'm
Will.
okay with that.
Come on, Will.
None of us made that.
I played that whole game. It's nice. Will
As
says
the
he's
person
played the
who's
game.
played
Yes,
all of
Will.
it, he's happy to
It's
come.
nice.
It's like
Nice.
this is like Marie Kondo. Like it does not spark joy. Just fucking
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Wait,
Wait, but
doodles.
fucking Psychonauts is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we said that.
We said
Everyone
that.
agreed.
Oh, we all agreed.
It was
Really?
unanimous.
I can't convince you. I know that I can't
Unanimous.
convince her, but
It was
no.
unanimous.
No, I remember
I-
bits of the
give
visual.
me
Do you
my single.
remember the year?
I want it known that Psychonauts 2 should be on this list. Psychonauts 2 is a triumph of design and creativity, and not all games need to look the same. My last thing I will say
Tim Schafer
is
has
that
come to your child at home or something.
the last thing I'll say is I love the look of Artful Escape, but is it
fucking
just
hates it.
Is it just lots of stuff that all is like impossible to look bad together? Like it's just I've put a ton of like really bright, vibrant.
know what
Pop
you-
arty
yeah.
kind of things. Like give me a picture of Michelle Obama and Photoshop, and I'll give you a cool piece of pop art that will always look good. It'll be like, oh, that's like what I'm saying is Andy Warhol was a fucking hack. Andy Warhol is a hack, and pop art is a hack, and I
So-
feel like that.
I know what I do understand the direction you're coming from, but what I would say is that some of the best visual moments
took a
in that
twist.
game, some of the best visual moments in that game are in the small, quiet moments that visually are quite quiet as well. Sorry, bad use of words there. When you are in that mall at the beginning, when you're in the town, the camera pushes right in, and the whole like fucking backgrounds all kind of push in together of just mountains and the water, and you come right in on the details of that character and the model, and it's just like there's no Ziggy Stardust going on at those points. It just looked, the fidelity and the art style of that just looks so fucking crisp and so distinct, and it's like, this is this game I'm watching. And then you get that same level of detail and same level of perfection when you are soaring through a majestic city in the future, like with light shows and characters flying around you. It serves both set like.
Do you agree
scales.
with this?
Yes.
Do you?
Will. He's already got rid of it.
I agree that I would.
Rid of what?
I would favor.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword. I would favor Artful Escape over Psychonauts.
Okay. All right.
Applaud the design and the decisions and how bold they are in how disgusting they are.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah.
Psychonauts.
Yeah.
I think that's really
They're supposed
cool.
to be weird looking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they don't
that's
know how to
awesome.
It's not like they're bad artists.
No, absolutely.
They know
not.
what they're doing. They're making freaks.
They
They know where to put
absolutely
teeth
are.
Yeah.
everywhere.
But I
You know who they're better than? Andy Warhol. What a hack.
If you're watching.
Give me a picture of Michelle Obama. Okay.
Okay, let's have a
Here we
look.
go. Here we go. Forza Horizon 5, It Takes Two, Deathloop, Genesis Noir, The Artful Escape.
It's a good list.
What are the around the table?
Yep.
What would everyone put as number one?
Artful Escape.
It Takes Two. Maybe.
I would probably put It Takes Two up the top as well for having a distinct style and
Large amount.
a large amount of
Polish and
variation.
I would also say variation. That was the big
Variation,
thing. That like, and admittedly, I haven't played through all of Artful Escape. I've watched quite a bit
Got
of
to
it.
the bit where it gets interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
but
I've seen a lot of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's it feels to me like it's often playing on the same note visually, that it is that vibrant big thing, and I do feel like It Takes Two takes me to things that feel like distinct worlds that are still within the aesthetic of the place.
I know where you're coming from. I would say watching trailers and things of the Artful Escape, it does feel like that could have all been on one planet, and when it's montaged, but there is a distinct sort of 4 places you go to that feel very different, and that all open up as you move through the space visually and audibly, but I know we're on visuals here, in a way that, like, I remember each one of those 4 to 5, I think, kind of spaces as being so distinctly different and so distinctly detailed. And
Distinct is it? I was going to say this even before that sentence. Distinct is the word of this video.
Yeah.
I've said it 400 times.
Yeah,
you just
sorry.
said it 300 times.
Yeah.
yeah,
Give us a
if you
distinct counter in the chat.
If you montage all those planets together, you could be like, look at those crazy, colorful alien worlds, which is what you said before, right?
Yeah, I think I was saying that they didn't feel very distinct. Did Deathloop just sneak in here?
I think it did.
No, I don't think it's snuck in
think-
here.
I think it deserves to be there. I'm
I
just
think that
making
was
sure
an unspoken understanding that, like, I may not have loved that game, but one thing it had was like a fucking sophisticated style.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Like it was,
Yeah.
And it wasn't
the
just
whole design and the vibe of it was. Just,
It wasn't just 70s, 60s,
Mod.
60. It wasn't 60s furniture with 70s pulp kind of attitude. It was also like, as I said, the thing I loved was that fucked up New Year's party killer vibe that everyone had. That was something I had.
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of like murder, eyes wide shut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but then all
Yeah.
the furniture was the distinct 60s kind of awesome curved art. Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of
I feel like you can't fault that game for having a particular visual direction, and they executed it in
Yeah.
a way that
And all the areas were
felt
really
distinctly unique.
absolutely. All the areas were like very distinct.
Yeah.
Not particularly unique, but because they all felt like part of the same.
They all
had a
island,
strong
but
identity.
They all had a strong identity, and the visuals didn't just stick to the game part of it as well. Like all the UI, everything,
UI was
everything
awesome.
about it was
Yeah.
really cohesive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually really liked in Deathloop as well that it didn't.
It would be
every
my
le-
number 2.
Every level didn't feel like it was trying to show you the best version of that area. It was often putting you in a weird kind of back door that you'd walk out and go like, "Where the hell am I?"
And-
so
Yeah.
when you find it later, you piece it together.
find
in
the
your
best
head,
vista
You
eventually,
go like,
yeah.
"Right, this is
Yeah.
what this place is,"
And it
feels more
takes
special.
the same 4 areas and shows a lot of them at different times of day and
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah.
which
That's
is like
true.
going remixing its own art style
Yeah.
or its own look over the course of a day as like the madness and chaos progresses. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I would probably put it second. I would go It Takes Two, Deathloop, Artful Escape, Genesis Noir, Forza Horizon 5 would be my list.
I would agree with that.
I could push Genesis Noir Net down. I only looked at a lot of it. I didn't play it, but it felt quite one note to me in the sense that it knew a look it wanted and it just like stayed in that look. Or maybe that look
it
just didn't
dances.
gel with
It
me.
dances around. I think in about the same way that Artful Escape
Fair enough,
does.
yeah.
Like it leaves its central design about the same amount that Artful Escape does across like the missions that you play. But I do think it. At the end of the day, it's quite simple, and not that that's necessarily a bad thing. But I do think it is like. I do think it ends up feeling like you haven't seen a whole lot, really.
Though I would say
The other one
that
is literally pouring color into your eyes at any point it can.
Yeah.
that again
Yeah.
with Genesis Noir, it's not just about how it looks, but it's about how it presents those visuals to
Yes.
you in game, about the transitions between scenes and the way that it is constantly like distorting and twisting the world and moving you through
That's
this
clever,
space.
but also like revealing your visuals in a way that is clever. I would argue in Artful Escape always does it like it's just a simpler mechanic of the camera coming in and coming out and the parallaxing of the design that is there. And it constantly does this thing where it like pulls back and everything just wraps around the lens and does this amazing look and then punches all the way back in to just focus on a moment and comes out.
But what's your point, sorry?
That it is equally as like
Oh no, I'm saying between Forza and Genesis Noir. Not between
Oh,
Genesis
okay,
Noir and
sorry.
Artful
Yeah, I
Escape.
saw you-
Yeah,
yeah, okay, right. Yeah.
Of going that I think that it does stay in the one palette, I suppose, But
Yeah.
I think that what it presents visuals to me in a way that you don't normally see in video games. Whereas Forza Horizon 5,
Happy
And
with
when
the
it
Forza
gives
at
you
the bottom,
and when
it's
it gives
not
you
like a-
dimension, it's
Yeah.
really interesting in that style because it maintains its style and suddenly feels like
distinct.
yeah,
Yeah.
distinctly dimensioned.
I think we're all okay with Forza on the bottom of the list because we all respect the hell out of it and
I
we
think
love what it did.
I
does,
think
but it-
even Forza are like they understand why they don't win, even though their like game is always one of the most
Just about
beautiful.
the most perfect looking thing.
Yeah, and
it looks,
but
it
I
looks real.
And I would say that but Mexico is just such a fun
Yeah.
looking place to be, and
And that was a choice.
And that was a choice, and that they have gone to so much work to make that feel authentic, but also sort of like compressed, and that it's my favorite Forza to be in. Every time I boot that game up, I'm like, oh god, this playground is such a gorgeous place to be in. And so yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just, it's not just on here because of the reflections
we
on the
feel
hood.
like we
yeah,
no,
like
no,
it
no,
really
no, no.
game
It is-
should
yeah,
be a
yeah.
triple A
it
shiny
really
game.
is a
Forza Horizon
gorgeous
4
looking
would not
game.
be on this list.
No.
Yes,
because
totally.
it's not as inspired.
Because it is
a
just the
design.
shiny.
The
Yeah,
3
yeah.
would be at the top.
So are we happy with this list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with
so.
that list.
Yeah.
I really
Totally.
like that list.
I
The
think we did well.
Back pocket.
I'm proud of you for sacrificing Psychonauts. I know that wasn't easy,
No,
but
I will remember.
if you look
this.
if you look at the games on this list,
No, I
like,
think this is a great list. Number 5, Forza Horizon 5. Number 4, Genesis Noir. Number 3, Artful Escape. Number 2, Deathloop. And number 1, It Takes Two.
All I have to do
Our
with
favorite
It Takes
visuals.
Two is like close my eyes and think of going to that snow village or the clock town
Mm-hmm.
or like and remember how many of those
the like
places
Street Fighter moment that you had.
on the in the tree like
in the tree,
Yeah.
on the plane, off the tree,
in
yeah.
the play equipment, in
the
like
whole
that
music,
the
space
garden.
tower.
music
oh,
section.
in the
Yeah.
greenhouse garden
music
stuff.
Yeah.
inside that was still the clock or something, but like the music notes.
Yep.
You go to heaven at the end, don't you? Die or something.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They're
Oh
weird.
yeah.
Something
Underneath
crazy.
the bed or in the spare room at the very beginning when you
The
get shrunk down in
dad
the first
standing
place.
motionless with his eyes flickering in the study as his daughter
Yeah.
comes in and says, "I'm hungry," and he's like,
and he's just ramming
Yeah.
hard.
Was there like a little Beetle day spa at one point?
"Oh
There
yes,
was, yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
There
You
sure
sat on
was.
like a millipede.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
That was in the
massage
garden.
chair.
Yeah,
Massage
yeah.
chair, that's
Beautiful,
right.
beautiful
That's
game.
right.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Well
game.
done.
Millipede
Fantastic
day
game.
spa.
All right. What are your favorite visuals that you have looked at in a video game in 2021? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be back with more Back Pocket Game of the Year videos another day.